Have you ever wanted to start selling on Amazon KDP but kept putting it off because you thought making something worth buying meant you had to be a designer? So did I, until I found this workflow that allows you to create professional coloring books like these in under 10 minutes. And by the end of this video, you're going to have a complete workflow for building a full AI coloring book series, from the very first page all the way to a finished listing on Amazon. The tool we're using for everything today is Higgsfield. It's an all-in-one platform that gives you access to everything you need to create a product like this inside one clean workflow. I'll leave the link in the description so you can follow along and have your own coloring book ready to be published. But before we generate a single page, there's one step that most people skip entirely, and it's the reason a lot of AI coloring books end up looking inconsistent and cheap. The first thing we need is a mood board. Think of it as the visual anchor for your entire book. It locks in your art style, color palette, line weight, and your proportions, so the whole book feels like it was made by the same person. This way, every character, cover, and interior page is going to reference this one image and look consistent, which is very important for sales. Before any of this, I did my niche research on Amazon and found multiple books in the cute coloring book space, which confirms the niche is actively buying. I also studied what the top sellers had in common: soft pastel covers, chibi characters, and small decorative details filling every corner. Those are exactly the things I wanted my mood board to capture. So let's build it. Head into Higgsfield and look at the navigation bar at the top of the screen. Click on Image. That opens the image generation workspace. And the first thing you want to do before anything else is select your model. Click the model selector and choose GPT Image 2. This is the model we're using for everything in this video because it's one of the best models available right now for this kind of stylized illustrative work. And it can also generate clean, readable text directly onto an image, which most models still completely fall apart on. Now I'm uploading these 4 reference images from cute coloring books I found during my research. These go in as visual anchors because they capture the elements I want. Then I'll paste in the prompt and generate. We get this mood board with the exact pastel color palette, the correct line art, and the overall style we want for our entire project. This is our anchor for the entire project. Every single generation from this point forward gets this image attached to it, and that one step is what keeps everything consistent without losing quality. But the mood board is only half of what we need before we touch a single page. The other half is what actually makes this feel like a real product people want to buy. The reason coloring book series sell better than one-off books is simple. When someone buys book 1 and loves the characters, books 2 and 3 become easy purchases since they're already invested. So we need to create a cast of original characters that carry the whole series. The series I'm building is called Fluffy and Friends. It contains 5 original chibi animals, each with their own personality and design. Each character appears across 3 books in different themed settings, which is exactly the structure I noticed in the best-selling series I studied. We're staying in the same image generation workflow with GPT Image 2 selected, and this time I'm attaching the mood board to every single prompt. The aspect ratio for characters is 1:1, since these are standalone reference images. Let's start with Fluffy, our main character. I'll paste in this prompt and generate. The proportions are exactly right. That oversized head, the tiny body, and the glossy eyes are all elements that capture the exact style of a cozy coloring book. This is the kind of character that can easily go on the front page. Next is Sunny, our fox character. I'll generate her the same way. From her stand and expression, you can already see what she's like, which is great for a project like this. Since the interior pages don't have dialogue inside, it's important that our characters are expressive without needing to speak. Let's do one more. I'll paste in this and generate. This is Mochi, our cat character. The sleepy eyes and the melting pose make this character extremely cute for target audiences. You understand exactly who Mochi is the second you see her. I'm going to speed through the rest since the workflow is identical, and I'll show you the full cast together. Here they are. We've made 5 original characters with a consistent style, all built from the same mood board. This is our brand, and now that we have it, the next thing we need to make is the one asset that determines whether anyone buys the book at all. On Amazon, your cover is doing one job. It has to make someone stop scrolling on a small thumbnail and click. So this is where we need to be the most intentional about what we're generating. We're making 3 covers, 1 for each book in the series. It's the same workflow as before, but now we're also uploading the character images that appear in each scene alongside the mood board. Cover 1 is called A Cozy Day, and it features all 5 characters, so all of their images go in alongside the mood board. I'll paste in this prompt that explains the exact style I want and generate. What I love about this is how the text came out. It's clean and readable even at thumbnail size, so potentially potential buyers can notice it in seconds. This is where GPT Image 2 really earns its place in this workflow. Most image generators completely fall apart when you ask them to render text. Letters get scrambled, spacing breaks, and it immediately makes the whole thing look generated. But GPT Image 2 handles it perfectly, and for a product that lives or dies on its Amazon thumbnail, this is a deal breaker. Cover 2 is Rainy Day Cafe. This one features Fluffy, Mochi, and Sunny inside a cozy cafe with rain visible through a round window. I'll paste in this and generate. The palette shifts to lavender and warm cream, which is a completely different mood from book 1, but the same brand identity because the characters are consistent. The composition also hits everything I studied in my research. The characters are grouped together in a scene. There's a soft pastel background with decorative elements filling the space, and there's a bold title at the top. It looks like a real product. Cover 3 is Autumn Adventure, Fluffy, Pebble, and Fig in a warm autumn forest with a new color palette from the previous 2. I'll generate it now. It's very impressive how so many elements can exist in one scene without a single one falling apart. Everything is consistent and it still looks like a real product from an existing series. We have 3 books with 3 distinct moods and 1 consistent brand. That's what makes a series feel intentional rather than accidental, and it's what makes buyers trust that the next book is worth picking up. Now that the covers are done, we can finally get into the actual pages that go inside them. This is where the product really comes together, and it's also the part that takes the longest if you don't have a clear system for it. Each book has 8 illustration pages, and every single one is generated as line art so they can be colored in. That's the format coloring books need, and GPT Image 2 handles it cleanly when you're specific in your prompt about what you don't want as much as what you do. The workflow is the same as everything else. The mood board is still attached, and every time I'll upload the character that's relevant in each scene. Let's start with page 1, Fluffy in the Meadow. I'll paste in this, and as you can see, it's being very specific about the actual art style because they need to be fitting for a coloring book. And this is exactly what a coloring page should look like. The outlines are thick and consistent, which matters more than most people realize. Thin lines are genuinely harder for kids to color inside, and they make the page feel cheap when printed. Every prompt in this workflow specifies thick, consistent lines because it's not just an aesthetic choice, it's a product quality decision. The daisies and butterflies fill the negative space naturally without making the page feel cluttered. This is ready to print. Now let's jump ahead to page 6, Fluffy and Sunny together. I'll show you the whole thing at the end, but I want to go through a few specific pages first. I'll paste in this and generate. I chose this page because there are 2 characters in one scene, and the proportions still hold perfectly. Fluffy and Sunny are clearly the same characters. When you flip through a finished coloring book and every page feels like it belongs to the same world, it's because the mood board is doing its job across every single generation. Page 7 is all 5 friends together. Let's make it. This is my favorite so far. All 5 characters are in one scene with lots of details to color, and if someone's familiar with your series, getting a page with all the characters together is a nice reward. Finally, I'll do the last page, which is Fluffy watching stars. The night sky scene is a beautiful way to close the book, and the fact that it's the same character for the first and last page makes the whole thing come full circle. The scenery gives the person coloring it a completely different palette to work with compared to the meadow and garden pages, and that variety is what keeps someone engaged from the first page to the last. And here are the rest of the pages. We've made 8 in total, and the coloring book style is consistent in every single one. When we put them together, they're going to look like one person made them. To do this, I'll open Canva and create a new project. The size you want is 8.625 by 8.75 inches. That's the 8.5 by 8.5 inch book size plus bleed on all sides, which KDP requires for the print file to come out correctly. If you skip the bleed, your pages will have white borders where they shouldn't, and that looks unfinished on a physical product. The page order for your interior file goes like this. Page 1 is a simple title page that says this book belongs to with a blank line. It's a small personal touch that buyers genuinely love, especially for a kid's product. Then page 2 is your first coloring illustration. Page 3 is blank, and you repeat that pattern for all 8 illustrations through to page 17. The blank page after every illustration is important because it stops marker ink from bleeding through onto the next coloring page. Once your pages are in order, export as PDF print flattened. That's your interior file. Now head to kdp.amazon.com and create a new paperback title. For your listing, write 2 to 3 sentences in the description that mention the style, the age range, and the relaxing activity. Set your categories to children's books, then arts, music, and photography, then art and drawing. The settings that matter are interior black and white with no bleed, print size 8.5 by 8.5 inches, cover finish matte because it photographs better and feels more premium in hand. Amazon will assign you a free ISBN automatically, so you don't need to buy one. One thing Amazon will ask you during the upload process is whether AI was used in creating the content. Select yes. It's required, it's honest, and it has no negative effect on your listing or your sales whatsoever. And here's the part that makes the whole thing worth it. Once you publish, Amazon handles everything. When someone buys your book, they print it and ship it directly to the buyer. You never hold inventory, you never pack a box, and you never deal with returns. That's why coloring books on KDP are one of the most genuinely accessible passive income products available right now. And with this workflow, you can create your own professional coloring books for Amazon KDP, all under a single platform. So use the link in the description to sign up to Higgsfield. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.